Good evening, guys. It's Linton here from Greenbox Markets. I'm just looking at the pound USD at the moment. I've had a couple guys ask me what I think is going on, and obviously we had the interest rate today, interest rate decision. Now, just because an interest rate remains unchanged doesn't mean that it's not negative or positive for a currency. It depends on how that is interpreted in fundamental terms. So the fact that we saw a fall off on the pound just means that it was interpreted as slightly more negative for the pound than a positive thing, the fact that it wasn't changed. Personally, in my opinion, I actually see it as a positive for the pound that the interest rate wasn't changed today. That said, let's have a look at the charts quickly. I'm looking at the daily time frame, and over here you can see that there was a structure formation with a 1, 2, 3 and a 4-wave structure that completed. I was actually expecting a 5th wave to complete to the downside before we got this break up, but this was obviously a fundamentally driven move, and we've got to adjust to what the charts tell us and trade what we see. So the next setup that I'm looking at is this flag formation over here. So remember, what we usually do is we've got one big structure and a break of that structure, and then we look for flag formations before choosing our direction to trade. So on this break over here, I wouldn't necessarily just trade that. It depends on what it looks like on a smaller time frame. So on the daily, we can clearly see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure within this flag, which is a perfect textbook structure. The question is it going to break on this 5th wave, or are we going to see a move up to the top? And those are basically the two options that we have here. One is a break of the bottom of the support of this flag, and then on the 1 hour a smaller flag formation with a break to confirm the sell, or alternatively a consolidation just inside the flag here and a little 1 hour setup break to trade to the top of this flag on the daily. So let's have a look on the smaller time frames to see what we can see there. If I go down to the 4 hour, there we can see on this flag where we've had that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, we can see that the 4 hour candle actually closed outside of it. So essentially that flag has broken to the downside. Does that mean that I'm going to trade that? No, not necessarily. It depends on what it looks like on the 1 hour time frame. So here I can see on the 4 hour it is leading me towards a break for the short trade. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Okay, so on the 1 hour it is quite obvious as well that it's broken below the flag that formed on the daily time frame, but there's still no setup here. There's nothing telling me to enter the short. What I would like to see is another little flag formation over here for the price to bounce around here 3 or 5 times and then to break that on the 1 hour. Should it break to the downside, that will confirm my sell. If it doesn't form a flag and it keeps trading up, I will look for a flag formation to break and trade it to the upside of the trend line on this daily flag. So there's no trade sitting here for me now on the pound USD. I know a bunch of people have jumped into it, but I don't see any trade at this point in time. I need to wait for direction, for confirmation of the break for the sell, or confirmation in the form of another little setup over here to the upside with a little flag and a break of that flag to confirm that we're going to the top of this channel. And that's the analysis on the pound US dollar. That's where I believe it's going. So at this point in time, it could go either up or down depending on which way the 1 hour forms. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take care. Cheers.